Yanila Premadana Karuna Pracho Hena Prabhu Kotagela Acharya Thakur Kahamara Sarup Rupa Kaha Sanatan Kahara Saragunata Patita Pavan Kahamara Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kaviraj Eka Kale Kota Gela Gora Nataraj Pashane Kotibo Mata Annale Pashibo Goranga Gunera Nidhi Kotagele Pampo Se Saba Sangira Sange Ye Kolo Vilas Se Sangha Napaya Kande Narotamadas Yanira Premadana Karuna Pracho Hena Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur Okay, I'll read the translation. He who brought the treasure of divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Srinivas Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against a rock and enter into fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps. Okay. So it is the disappearance day of two great personalities within Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Not within the Rascal Sampradaya or the Mlecha Sampradaya, the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. There are such Sampradayas. They pass on their nonsense philosophies, right? But this is within the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. It's Sri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, who we have here on the altar, and Rasikananda Prabhu. So, I'll just read about first Jagannath Das Babaji. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj lived for, here it says, 144 years. 125 years, 144 years. Okay. That's a long time, huh? He took Diksha from Sri Madhusudana Das Babaji and did bhajan for many years at Surya Kund in Vrindavan. Thakur Bhaktivinoda received valuable instructions on pure devotional service from Jagannath Das Babaji. Yeah. Okay. His practice was to live 6 months in Sri Navadvip Dham and 6 in Vraj Mandala. During his time, said Thakur Bhaktivinoda, Sri Jagannath Das Babaji was the most advanced Rasika Vaishnav in Gora and Vraj Mandalas in Purushottam Chaitra, Jagannath Puri. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave him the title Sarvabhauma, the chief of the Vaishnavs. At 125 years old, his body appeared bent like a semicircle. His eyelids hung over his eyes like heavy stage curtains. Standing on either side, 2 disciples would lift his droopy eyelids so he could offer tulsi manjaris to his deity of Sri Giriraj Govardhan. Since Jagannath Das Babaji could barely walk, Bihari, his Vrajvasi servant, used to carry him on his shoulders. But whenever there was a Nam Kirtan, Jagannath Das Babaji would bolt out of his basket and leap 4 feet into the air. In great ecstasy, he would begin to sing and dance. He performed vigorous bhajan despite physical limitations. He was fond of chanting loudly in both japa and kirtan. During kirtan, he would sing Nittai ki nama inichi re, ki nama inichi re, ki nama dirichi re. O Lord Nityananda, what a wonderful name you have brought. O Nittai, what a wonderful name you have given. After chanting almost the whole night, the next morning he would offer 1,108 dandavats to the deities. He was always enthusiastic to serve the Vaishnavas. He lived as an ascetic following a strict diet and the yearly Chaturmasya, 4-month fast. The first month he ate only 4 bananas in the evening. So you could try this out if you want. All right, this is the diet. The first month he ate only 4 bananas in the evening. All right, that's the first month of Chaturmasya. Second month, only guavas. Third month, only whey. Fourth month, only boiled banana flowers with salt. It's pretty austere, huh? Devotees think it's austere sometimes. Just, have khichdi every day or something, right? With vegetables and all this thing. But this is really austere. Once he begged a roti, flatbread, from a Vrindavan street sweeper. Hearing about this, the leading men of Vrindavan said to Jagannath Das Babaji, Baba, you are the crest jewel of Raj. It pains us to hear anyone criticizing you, but now everyone is talking against you. They are saying, Baba's gone mad. If he defies the age-old traditions, what will happen to society? So here, you can see the stark difference between his time and our time. It's, anyways. Meaning that it was such a sin, such a fall down, that you would just eat a roti from a person in Vrindavan who made it, a sweeper. So I mean, what to speak of other things, people eating other things at restaurants and potato chips from grocery store or restaurants. What to speak of non-vegetarian restaurants that would just, So my point is, it's such a difference. It's a roti from a Vrindavan sweeper. So, anyways. One man's sin is another man's virtue, huh? Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so all right, this is what he said. Babaji Maharaj replied, "You are all learned people. Don't you know the importance of the dust of Vrindavan? It is so surcharged with Krishna prem that even Lord Brahma desires to become a particle of Vraj, dust of Vrindavan. Therefore, isn't it a Vrindavan, a sweeper who is constantly serving the dust, breathing it, rolling in it, and bathing in it more pure than anyone else?" Silence filled the air, indicating everyone's acceptance of Babaji Maharaj's reply. So this is another thing that, at least wherever it's coming from, whether it's Vedic or Western or both, if one hears something and they don't say anything, it's an indication that they accept it. They're not arguing the point. They're not speaking out against it. So if someone says, "Oh, Mukunda, so you agree with this? And what do you think?" And then Mukunda's just quiet. It's just indication, okay, he accepts it. So we should keep that in mind. So if we don't agree with something, or we don't think something's out of line, we could say something. Because we might get in trouble later. Someone will say, "Hey, I said it, and you didn't say anything." It means you accepted it. But now you're saying later that you don't accept it. So because here it's saying everyone was silent, indicating they accept what he said. So it's just a point of, say, etiquette or culture. Because you might be called on later that, "Hey, you accepted this because you were quiet," but maybe you didn't accept it. You just didn't speak up. So you have to speak up. Everything you say and everything you don't say will be held in. You'll be held accountable in the court of law. All right, so they accepted it. While living in Navadvip Dham, Jagannath Das Babaji showed deep respect toward all residents. Even when some puppies ate from his plate, he didn't protest. Bihari, his servant, became disgusted to see dogs devouring his guru's prasadam, and he drove them away. Jagannath Das Babaji scolded Bihari, "These puppies are residents of the holy Dham. They are not ordinary living entities. I will not eat until they come back to share the Mahaprasad from my plate." At the age of 142, he couldn't see or walk. To confirm his findings, Thakur Bhaktivinoda requested Jagannath Das Babaji to see Lord Chaitanya's appearance place. Intoxicated with Gauranga Prem, Jagannath Das Babaji leapt high in the air and began chanting and dancing at the discovery of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Yoga Peeth. We were on Navadvip Mandala Parikrama one time, walking around Mayapur, and devotees, they put on a big play, like a drama, and they depicted this, that somebody, Bihari carrying Jagannath Das Babaji in a basket, and then him jumping out of the basket. So guess who was Jagannath Das Babaji? Maharaj. Huh? Who? No. It was Bhakti Avatar. Yeah, Bhakti Avatar was playing the part of Jagannath Das Babaji, so he jumped out and he was dancing. Yeah, I'm sure he twirled. It was in Navadvip Mandala Park. It was in Mayapur when we were walking around. There's thousands of devotees, and they did a drama, and he was playing Jagannath Das Babaji. Yeah, we found the place, and he was all ecstatic. So that was interesting. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Out of compassion for all the conditioned souls, Jagannath Das Babaji transferred his power of bhajan, knowledge of the Shastras, and prem bhakti directly into the heart of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, said Sripad B.V. Narayan Maharaj. Jagannath Das Babaji had many disciples. He often gave the following instructions. So these are the instructions he gave. All right, here you go. 1. You must avoid women, men who associate with women, or with a man who in any way associates a man who associates with a woman. So, I don't know, we might not have much association nowadays. 2, to realize the supreme goal of life, you must repeat Harinam regularly and steadfastly. Steadiness is so important that it must be maintained even at the cost of one's life.
What must be maintained?
Steadiness. 3, never forget Gauranga, who is more merciful and benevolent than Krishna. Krishna is just like a ruler who takes into account your offenses in his administration of justice. Gauranga does not take your offenses into account. Whereas Krishna is more interested in the dispensation of justice, Gauranga is more interested in the distribution of mercy. From this point of view, Gauranga Kirtan is more useful than Krishna Kirtan. Gauranga Kirtan means Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. All right, so
my understanding is that he is the one who just composed that.
Interesting. No, I haven't. Oh. 4, Krishna is the avatar of Dwapara Yuga. Gauranga is the Kali Yuga avatar. We should sing the name and glories of avatar in whose age we live. Just as in a kingdom we praise the ruling king. Jai Shachinandana Gaur Hari, Jai Shachinandana Gaur Hari. And then it says, the Sonar Gauranga temple and Gopal Bagh Vrindavan houses Gaurnitai deities once worshipped in Surya Kund by Sri Jagannath Das Babaji. In Krishna Leela he serves as Rasika Manjari. So yeah, he's bringing up many important points, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. And of course, for each individual it's different how we apply these within our lives, these instructions. So for example, he's saying, oh, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, that's more important than Krishna Kirtan. And someone may say, okay, hey, well, tomorrow instead of chanting my Hare Krishna Japa 108 times 16 rounds, I'm just going to chant Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita and just keep on chanting that. Because Jagannath Das Babaji says it's more important. Right? And I'm sure devotees do all types of things. Oh, really? Yeah. So if you want to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Japa, then 16 rounds of Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. But the point is to follow Srila Prabhupada, the founder of Acharya, and what he specifically instructed. But we could take the essence of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj's instruction in that we shouldn't forget that, yes, we are in Kali Yuga, and the Kali Yuga avatar is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we shouldn't forget Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and just think about Krishna. We should also think about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it says that one who thinks of Chaitanya, one who forgets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very easy things become difficult. And for one who remembers Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, very difficult things become easy. So therefore the encouragement is to remember him. So that's what he's saying to do, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. not forget. Okay, so we could read about Rasikananda. So yeah, we could pray to Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj to bless us with some bhakti and some renunciation and all these other wonderful things he has. Alright, so this is Rasikananda. Shri Rasikananda Prabhu appeared as the son of a king. He became a perfect sage, Gaudiya Vaishnava scholar, Rasika Bhakta, and the most beloved disciple of Shri Shyamananda Prabhu. On Shyamananda Prabhu's order, Rasikananda became the head pujari and served his guru's deity of Govindaji with total dedication. His attentive, loving service increased Govindaji's beauty and pleasure. Rasika Murari enchanted the devotees with his unprecedented deity service. After firmly establishing Govindaji's worship, he accepted Shyamananda's order to preach. He traveled widely for 40 years, influencing everyone with the message of Mahaprabhu. Rasikananda delivered everyone from pious royal families to Muslims, outcasts, agnostics, atheists, and even wild animals. Yeah. One time some mad elephants attacked Rasikananda. Calmly he chanted, Gauranga, Gauranga, Krishna, Krishna, while sprinkling water on the rampaging beasts. The elephants immediately stopped charging, humbly bowed their heads, raised their chunks, and bellowed, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So he just sprinkled, so they're charging toward him, he sprinkled some water on them. They bowed their heads and they chant Hare Krishna.
Wasn't there a good effort for some of the kings or something directly to make those that was some accident? I think he was, because he was initiating through this, yeah, it was revolution. A lot of opposition.
Interesting. Bhaktivedanta Swami wrote a book. He compiled a book about Rasikananda. Like a good-sized book. At the time of leaving his body, Rasikananda began a powerful kirtan. Then he left this world by entering the Chir Gaur Gopinath Didi in Ramuna, Orissa. Devastated in separation, his disciples dropped their mridangas, kartals, and their bodies. The Pushpa Samadhis of all these pure devotees stand near the temple. Rasikananda Prabhu's Pushpa Samadhi stands near Shyamananda Prabhu near the temple of Radha Shyamasundar. Chai. All glories to Rasikananda. Alright, so read the Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 10, Dhruva Maharaja's fight with the Yakshas, Text 2. Ilayam api bharyayam Vayo putram mahabalaha Putram udkalanamanam Yashidratnam majijanat Ilayam api bharyayam Vayor putra mahabalaha Putram utkalanamanam Yashidratnam majijanat Word by word. Elayam, unto his wife named Ela. Api, also. Bharyayam, unto his wife. Vayoho, of the demigod Vayu, controller of air. Putram, unto the daughter. Mahabalaha, the greatly powerful Dhruva Maharaj. Putram, son. Utkala, Namanam, of the name. Yoshit, female. Ratnam, jewel. Ajijanat, he begot. Translation. The greatly powerful Dhruva Maharaj had another wife named Ela, who was the daughter of the demigod Vayu. By her he begot a son named Utkala and a very beautiful daughter. So I'll just keep on reading the English verses. Dhruva Maharaj's younger brother Uttama, who was still unmarried, once went on a hunting excursion, was killed by a powerful yaksha in the Himalayan mountains. Along with him, his mother, Suruchi, also followed the path of her son. She died. When Dhruva Maharaj heard of the killing of his brother Uttama by the yakshas in the Himalayan mountains, being overwhelmed with lamentation and anger, he got on his chariot and went out for victory over the city of the yakshas. Alakapuri. Purport. Dhruva Maharaj's becoming angry, overwhelmed with grief, and envious of the enemies was not incompatible with his position as a great devotee. It is a misunderstanding that a devotee should not be angry, envious, or overwhelmed by lamentation. Dhruva Maharaj was the king, and when his brother was unceremoniously killed, it was a duty to take revenge against the yakshas from the Himalayas. Dhruva Maharaj went to the northern direction of the Himalayan range. In a valley he saw a city full of ghostly persons who were followers of Lord Shiva. Purport. In this verse it is stated that the yakshas are more or less devotees of Lord Shiva. By this indication, the yakshas may be taken to be the Himalayan tribes, like the Tibetans. Maitreya continued. My dear Vidura, text 6, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj reached Alakapuri, he immediately blew his conch shell, and the sound reverberated throughout the entire sky and in every direction. The wives of the yakshas became very much frightened. From their eyes it was apparent that they were full of anxiety. O hero Vidura, the greatly powerful heroes of the yakshas, unable to tolerate the resounding vibration of the conch shell of Dhruva Maharaj, came forth from their city with weapons and attacked Dhruva. Dhruva Maharaj, who was a great charioteer and certainly a great bowman also, immediately began to kill them by simultaneously discharging arrows, 3 at a time. When the heroes of the yakshas saw that all their heads were being thus threatened by Dhruva Maharaj, they could very easily understand their awkward position, and they concluded that they would certainly be defeated. But as heroes, they lauded the action of Dhruva. Okay. Purport. The spirit of fighting and a sporting attitude is very significant in this verse. The yakshas were severely attacked. Dhruva Maharaj was their enemy, but still upon witnessing the wonderful heroic acts of Maharaj Dhruva, they were very pleased with him. This straightforward appreciation of an enemy's prowess is a characteristic of real Kshatriya spirit. So just read a few more. Okay. Just like serpents who cannot tolerate being trampled upon anyone's feet, the yakshas, being intolerant of the wonderful prowess of Dhruva Maharaj, threw twice as many arrows, 6 from each of their soldiers, and thus they very valiantly exhibited their prowess. The yaksha soldiers were 130,000 strong, all greatly angry and all desiring to defeat the wonderful activities of Dhruva Maharaj. With full strength they showered upon Maharaj Dhruva, along with his chariot and charioteer, various types of feathered arrows, padigas, iron bull. What do you say that word? Bludgeons. Bludgeons. What's a bludgeon? Oh, club. Okay. How do you know that, Zach? You used to fight? Medieval stuff? Oh, wow. Nishtimsha's swords, Prasasulas tridents, Prashavadas lances, Shakti's pikes. Okay, pikes. Rishti's spears, Bushundis and Bushundi weapons. So we don't even know what Bushundi weapons are. What does a pike look like? Oh, oh man. Some pretty intense weapons here, huh? They're throwing these at Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj was completely covered by incessant shower of weapons, just as a mountain is covered by incessant rainfall. Okay. Purport. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur points out in this connection that although Dhruva Maharaj was covered by the incessant arrows of the enemy, this does not mean that he succumbed in the battle. The example of a mountain peaks being covered by incessant rain is just suitable. For when a mountain is covered by incessant rain, all dirty things are washed from the body of the mountain. Similarly, the incessant shower of arrows from the enemy gave Dhruva Maharaj new vigor to defeat them. In other words, whatever incompetency he might have had was washed away. Oh, really? Spike hammer hurled by a rope. Okay. Okay, I'll just read one more. Although the siddhas from the higher planetary systems were observing the fight from the sky, and when they saw that Dhruva Maharaj had been covered by the incessant arrows of the enemy, they roared tumultuously. The grandson of Manu, Dhruva, is now lost. They cried that Dhruva Maharaj was just like the sun, and that now he had set within the ocean of the yakshas. So they started getting worried. Purport. In this verse, the word manava is very significant. Generally, this word is used to mean human being. Dhruva Maharaj is also described here as Manava. Not only is Dhruva Maharaj a descendant of Manu, but all human society descends from Manu. According to Vedic civilization, Manu is the lawgiver. Even today, Hindus in India follow the laws given by Manu. Everyone, therefore, in human society is a Manava, or descendant from Manu. But Dhruva Maharaj is a distinguished Manava because he is a great devotee. The denizens of the planet Siddhaloka, where the residents could fly in the sky without airplanes, were anxious over Dhruva Maharaj's welfare in the battlefield. Srila Rupa Goswami says, therefore, that not only is a devotee well protected by the Supreme Lord, but all the demigods and even ordinary men are anxious for his security and safety. The comparison given here that Dhruva Maharaj appeared to merge in the ocean of the yakshas is also significant. When the sun sets on the horizon, it appears that the sun drowns in the ocean, but factually the sun has no difficulty. Similarly, although Dhruva appeared to drown in the ocean of the yakshas, he had no difficulty. As the sun rises again in due course at the end of night, so Dhruva Maharaj, although he might have been in difficulty, because after all it was a fight, and in any fighting activities there are reverses, that did not mean that he was defeated. There's that verse in, the 11th canto of the srimadbhagavatam, Tatas Duk Sangam Utsui Ja, that the devotees, by their words, they cut the material attachments, the strong material attachments within the mind, and they reestablish our intelligence. So this is important, that we have to be told through the books and through devotees and through our spiritual master, we have to be told what's what, or else it's very difficult. People who isolate themselves, they actually they hardly make any advancement, or they make little advancement. And we could be isolated we could be isolated even living with 50 people, because we're isolating. We're not, opening up our hearts to them. And even on another level, we could just be isolated by living in our house and not visiting the temple, for example. Isolation. It's not recommended in Kali Yuga. So we have to be told. So one time, just say two more things here, but one time I was in Oregon, and I was 8 years old, 10 years old, and I was living in Southern California at the time, and I went up to visit my uncle was there, my aunt, cousins, and they had a nice house up there, and it's like on a hill, drive up this road, kind of isolated house. So we were driving up there, and I was in the first truck, and then my uncle was in the truck behind us. I was with my father or something, and then I had like a candy bar or whatever it was, some little something, bag of peanuts or something. So, you know, I got done with it, with eating a bag of peanuts, and then I just threw it out of the window, you know, going up the hill. It's a long hill, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in a small town. So, and on each side, you know, Oregon means trees. Oregon just means trees. I saw a sweater the other day. It said, it had Eiffel Tower on it, you know, and it had different places in the world. It had New York with the Statue of Liberty, and then it had Oregon, and it had a tree, you know. That's what Oregon has, just trees. So we made our way up there, and then we got out of the car, and then I got out of the car, and my uncle was just furious. He was absolutely angry. And he's actually a cool person, like very calm, and, you know, doesn't get angry very often. So then he came up to me, and he just like drilled into me, saying, "What are you doing? I saw you threw that. You can't throw that out." He said, "This isn't Southern California. You know, there's trees everywhere. This is the nature, and you can't do that." And he just like he was really angry. And from that, you know, I was kind of shocked. You know, it was a wake-up call, and he snapped me out of my ignorance. I didn't do it again. So yeah, we need that, like reminders. And just as Dhruva Maharaj had said, he's covered with the ocean, all these tridents and all these different weapons, and it looked like he was a goner. Looked like he was just going to be defeated. But, as Prabhupada says, but after all, it's a fight, and in fighting activities there are reverses. So it may look like we are not going to be successful in our life. But there's always reverses, just as Dhruva Maharaj having the fight. There might be some difficulties, but it doesn't mean that we cannot be successful. We will not be successful. We can be successful. But we have to always remember not to take the easy path. We want to take the difficult path, which is Krishna consciousness. The only reason it's difficult is because, you know, there's some conditioning there, but we want to take the difficult path of Krishna consciousness. And